Welcome to the online learning module on analyzing and developing the entrepreneurial profile of your university. In this module, we will explore the idea of an entrepreneurial university by looking at some tools that have been developed by the Accreditation Council for Entrepreneurial and Engaged Universities. Before starting with the actual content, I would like to briefly introduce myself to explain you my linkage to the idea of an entrepreneurial university. I'm a professor at Münster University of Applied Sciences for Innovation Management and Business Development. And at the same university, I'm the Deputy Director of the Science to Business Marketing Research Center, which looks at how universities can engage with other stakeholders of the ecosystem and how they can act entrepreneurial and market their research competencies, capacities, and results. At the same time, I'm the chairman of the University Industry Innovation Network. This network has been created to put all the knowledge which we have developed on university-industry interaction into practice. Lastly, in 2016, I founded the Accreditation Council for Entrepreneurial and Engaged Universities, in which we aim to promote the development of these kind of universities. What it all has in common, these three different positions, is the passion for transforming universities to become more impactful. Therefore, I would be more than happy if you contact me after listening to this module if you're interested in collaborating in any of these three areas. In this online module, we want to look at two different things. First, I will provide you with some information on the background of the evaluation framework. With the evaluation framework, I mean the standards which have been designed to evaluate if a university is entrepreneurial. Therefore, these standards can also be used to develop and analyze universities and their respective entrepreneurial profile. Secondly, we want to explore different tools which have been developed by the Accreditation Council for Entrepreneurial and Engaged Universities. In this toolkit, we will then explore the standards in more detail and see how we can analyze and develop entrepreneurial universities. To give you a bit of background information on the Accreditation Council for Entrepreneurial and Engaged Universities, short ACEEU. ACEEU has been developed because the people behind it believe that universities can and should create greater social, economic, and cultural impacts. In other words, we don't believe that the university is exploiting its full potential at the moment. The way we envision universities creating these impacts is by them becoming more entrepreneurial and engaged, often also referred to as the university's third mission. The mission of ACEEU, in accordance with the belief and vision, is to promote cultural change, to accelerate institutional development, and to amplify the recognition of excellence through the provision of world-class accreditation services. Lastly, the values that form the foundation on which we perform our work and conduct ourselves are integrity, collaboration, respect, excellence, and accountability. The Accreditation Council consists of international experts in entrepreneurship and engagement, with positions ranging from vice presidents to directors of technology transfer offices, industry collaboration centers, incubators, entrepreneurship centers, and so on. So what is ACEEU accreditation? At ACEEU, we have developed the first institution-level accreditation focused on third mission aspect, entrepreneurship and engagement. Universities can accredit themselves as an entrepreneurial university or an engaged university. This means that they can do a single accreditation or both accreditations. The accreditation is awarded for 5 years and is driven by an international council of leading experts, which we have seen on the slide before. The council is headquartered in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and there are two different seals that a university can get for the accreditation. The gold the golden seal at the bottom shows the premium seal, which is awarded to universities which reach a certain evaluation in the accreditation. As mentioned before, ACEEU aims to promote cultural change within the university, meaning that emphasis is not only put on the first mission of education and the second mission of research, but also on the third mission. Second, we aim to accelerate organizational development. This means that universities actually become better in operating their university as a so-called third generation university, integrating the idea of the third mission. Lastly, we aim to amplify the recognition of excellence. We want that the organizations which are doing a good job are actually recognized for doing so. The focus in this presentation is on the acceleration of organizational development. A large number of institutions are currently undertaking ACEEU accreditation, including the University of Adelaide, which has already finished its accreditation, London South Bank University, the University of Warsaw, Qatar University, Management Science University in Malaysia, the University of Turku, the University of Malaga, Tartu University, Chalmers University, Coventry University, AN University, and Lehigh University. As you might have recognized, these universities come from all places around the world, from Americas, Asia, and Europe alike. In order to become an accredited entrepreneurial university, institutions have to follow the ACEEU accreditation process. First, they have to apply for eligibility. Once the application has been reviewed and accepted, an agreement will be made between the council and the institution. Following this, the university provides a self-evaluation report of up to 50 pages. Next, the university will be visited by members of the Accreditation Council as well as additional experts. Taking the self-evaluation results as well as a peer review report into account, a final evaluation will be conducted. All this is part of an initial accreditation. Once an institution has been accredited, it is expected to continuously improve its operations in order to be re-accredited after 5 years. To summarize, the ACEEU evaluation framework is a framework that is not only trusted by leading experts in the field, such as the members of the Accreditation Council, but also by leading entrepreneurial engaged universities around the world. Many of them currently undertaking the process or having already finished the accreditation process. In addition, the framework has been validated in many universities around the world, either as part of their accreditation or as part of an initiative to develop the university. So let's explore the ACEEU toolkit and learn more about the different elements of the evaluation framework. The ACEEU toolkit consists of 5 different tools, which are all available for free at toolkit.aceeu.org. The first tool is a quick assessment, allowing universities to conduct a self-evaluation of their entrepreneurial profile. The second tool is a canvas on which the universities can map their current situation. Third, cards have been developed which help to fill in the canvas mentioned before. Good practices as a fourth tool can then be used to advance the institution before the Pathfinder is used to develop a path towards improvement. Let's have a closer look at the Entrepreneurial University Quick Assessment. The ACEEU Quick Assessment is an online survey which allows university representatives to conduct a self-evaluation of their entrepreneurial profile. The survey covers all 15 ACEEU standards. Once you have sent off the survey, you will receive an email which contains the login details to our analysis platform. On this analysis platform, you will see your analysis results in a visual way. The results are structured according to the ACEEU dimensions and standards, and thus allows you to derive areas for improvement. The second tool of the ACEEU toolkit is the Entrepreneurial University Canvas. The Canvas consists of the 5 dimensions and 15 standards of the accreditation framework and allows university representatives to map their current situation at their university. Let's have a closer look at the Entrepreneurial University Canvas. The Canvas consists of 5 different hives, each representing one of the 5 dimensions of the accreditation framework. These 5 dimensions are orientation and strategy, people and organizational capacity, drivers and enablers, education, research and third mission activities, as well as innovation and impact. Each of these 5 dimensions have 3 standards as part of it. Institutional commitment, shared goals and financial planning are the 3 standards that are linked to the orientation and strategy dimension. Leadership, staff profile, and incentives and rewards are the standards related to the people and organizational capacity dimension. Culture, internal support structures, as well as service alignment refer to the dimension drivers and enablers. And education, research, and third mission activities refer to the respective dimension, which is called in the same way. Lastly, continuous improvement, influence within the ecosystem, and impact are related to the dimension of innovation and impact. In the next slides, we will have a closer look at each of these standards to better understand what they are referring to. The first standard, institutional commitment, states that entrepreneurial universities should make a public and strategic commitment to entrepreneurship. This commitment should be clearly defined. For example, a university might have a focus on promoting social entrepreneurship, or on technological entrepreneurship, on intrapreneurship, or on the creation of startups. This can also be a combination of different foci. Next, this commitment should also be documented. Examples of this documentation might be the strategic plan of the university, or it might be its vision or mission document. Lastly, values or key principles might be examples where such a documentation could be made. Lastly, the documented commitment should also be publicly known and understood. It is important that the key stakeholders are informed about the commitment and that it's not only published in documents which might not be read by the stakeholders anyway. The second standard, shared goals, refers to a university to have established entrepreneurship goals with measurable targets and deadlines which are understood and owned by a range of people in the organization. A key question in this respect is who at the different levels of the institution is responsible for the implementation of the entrepreneurship agenda, and which entrepreneurship goals are defined for academics, management, as well as supportive and administrative staff. The key idea of this standard is that the commitment should not only be documented, but that the commitment is then transferred into operational goals, and that the commitment is not only implemented by one or a few people, but owned by a wide range of people across the organization. For example, universities might not only have a vice president for innovation, but also there might be vice deans in the different faculties which promote the idea of entrepreneurship and innovation. The third and last standard in the orientation and strategy dimension is financial planning. The standard refers to a university to have a sustainable commitment to entrepreneurship which can be identified in its commercial activity, financial income and expenditure plans. Which investments the university currently makes to foster entrepreneurship is one of the key questions in this respect, but also what the future investment plans are. Lastly, through which activities is the university actually generating income and making profits? The idea of this standard is to make sure that the commitment is not only shown in documented strategies, but that there is actually financial figures that back up these activities, and that the activities also refer to income. The first standard in the people and organizational capacity dimension is leadership. The standard states that the university's values and its approaches to leadership combine to foster entrepreneurship, including risk-taking. This means that the university should have leadership principles, values, approaches and actions that promote entrepreneurship. In addition, an entrepreneurial university should integrate entrepreneurship stakeholders into their leadership of the institution. For example, entrepreneurs or other business stakeholders. The second standard in this dimension is staff profile. An entrepreneurial university manages its profile of academic and non-academic staff to meet the current and future demands of the entrepreneurship strategy. In other words, a university needs to have the right staff to implement its entrepreneurship agenda. Here, it becomes central that the university integrates entrepreneurial skills and experiences in the recruitment process of academics, management, and entrepreneurship staff. But this is not only important in the recruitment process. Also, existing staff should be trained accordingly to fulfill the entrepreneurship agenda. The third and last standard in this dimension is incentives and rewards. An entrepreneurial university is expected to have a coherent system of incentives and rewards to stimulate staff to undertake and support entrepreneurship activities. The key question for universities is thus, which kind of incentives and rewards do exist to promote entrepreneurship? And how are staff needs, wishes, and feedback captured and included to actually offer the right incentives and rewards? The first standard in the drivers and enablers dimension is culture. The standard expects universities to promote a culture conducive to thinking and acting entrepreneurially. A key question is which kind of culture a university aims to promote. What are the core beliefs, norms, and behavior? And are these promoting entrepreneurial thinking and acting? How is this culture then promoted through communication and events? Lastly, an entrepreneurial university is expected to create the right environment, for example, physical environment, for the targeted entrepreneurial culture to evolve. This might refer to things such as an incubator or collaborative spaces in the university buildings. The second standard in this dimension is internal support structures. The standard expects entrepreneurial universities to have internal support services and facilities that enable individuals to progress through the stages of their entrepreneurship journeys. This might refer to services such as the Technology Transfer Office, an Intellectual Property Office, an incubator, a university science park, or alike. It is key here as well that the university ensures that internal stakeholders from different faculties contribute to the provision of these support services. In addition, it is key that these services and facilities are actually communicated so that the usage is promoted. Lastly, service alignment is a standard in this dimension. The standard refers to universities that enhance their internal support structures by brokering access to external services, thus providing a comprehensive support system for entrepreneurship. Therefore, it is important for universities to integrate external services in their service portfolio. Which kind of external entrepreneurship programs and activities are linked to in a university is a key question in this respect. For example, a small university might not host its own incubator, but is cooperating with the incubator of the city, thus providing a comprehensive support system for entrepreneurship, even if not all service portfolio elements are hosted internally. The activities dimension starts with the standard on education. An entrepreneurial university provides a variety of opportunities for students to improve their entrepreneurial knowledge, skills and actions, and thus supports a wide range of graduate careers, including intrapreneurship, self-employment and entrepreneurship. This standard aims to promote entrepreneurship courses across various faculties. A key aspect here in this respect is also the approaches that are used to develop entrepreneurial competencies among students, for example, didactic approaches. Entrepreneurial universities should also foster interdisciplinary work. External stakeholders thereby should be integrated in the course design. In terms of research, an entrepreneurial university aims to support the creation of economic impacts and also contribute to the field of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurial universities thus ensure that their research agenda addresses current and/or future business demands. A key question in this respect is also how the university ensures the commitment of researchers to translate their research outputs into commercial applications. As mentioned in the second part of the standard, an entrepreneurial university is also expected to contribute to the research field of entrepreneurship by conducting research on the topic itself. The third and last standard in this dimension refers to third mission activities. An entrepreneurial university undertakes a wide range of external commercial activities. An entrepreneurial university has clearly defined its primarily target groups for their commercial activities. It has a clear approach to engage with external stakeholders to identify their needs. And it has a clear service portfolio which is offered to these stakeholders. The last dimension, innovation and impact, starts with continuous improvement. The standard expects entrepreneurial institutions to achieve continuous improvement in entrepreneurship by regularly evaluating its performance against targets. An entrepreneurial university has indicators that measure its entrepreneurship activities and results. The innovation results are then communicated within and beyond the institution. A key question in this respect is also how the university uses the evaluation results for future planning and organizational development. The second standard in this dimension is influence within the ecosystem. An entrepreneurial university is an influential stakeholder in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Entrepreneurial universities are expected to make this impact on the local and regional level. In addition, they might make a broader influence on a national or international level. A key question for entrepreneurial universities is how they ensure that staff across the institution contribute to making this influence. The idea of this standard is that an entrepreneurial university is not only looking at its institution itself, but beyond its boundaries, and thus contributing, for example, to the entrepreneurship ecosystem on a national level. For example, professors might be helping to develop entrepreneurship policies for the regional government. The last of the 15 ACEEU standards is impact. An entrepreneurial university is expected to generate a wide range of benefits through entrepreneurship and is working towards greater economic impacts in the region. A key question in this respect is what kind of impact the entrepreneurial university aims to create. And how do they identify the impacts made by people across the institution? Often, a university doesn't even know all the impacts made by the individual professors. And how are these impacts then communicated to the wider audience? An entrepreneurial university has clear answers to these questions. The third tool of the ACEEU toolkit are the entrepreneurial university cards. The entrepreneurial university cards have been designed to support the filling of the entrepreneurial university canvas. On the front page of the cards, you can find the short name of the standard, the standard's definition itself, as well as the dimension to which it refers. On the back side of the card, you can find guiding questions that will help you to fill in the respective standard of the entrepreneurial university canvas. On the previous slides, we have heard many of these questions either in forms of questions or in forms of a requirement of an entrepreneurial university. In addition to this, each card shows one example of good practice. Lastly, there's a QR code for further details. Using the Entrepreneurial University Canvas in combination with the Entrepreneurial University cards enables university representatives to map their own institution or any other institution they would like to have a closer look at. Let's have a look at an example canvas. A university might have a commitment to socio-economic development through technologies. In addition, the university fosters entrepreneurial minds among students as well as staff. This commitment is documented in the vision, mission, and strategic plan. A vice president for entrepreneurship has been established, and faculty tech scouts aim to identify the technologies that can make an impact. Yearly action plans exist for the different faculties, so that entrepreneurship is not only owned by the top management, but is also promoted within the faculties. Expenditures exist for a new incubator as well as startup events, as well as for external training. Income is generated through consulting and contract research. The leadership fosters experimentation. There is a top-down and bottom-up approach, and risk-taking is actively promoted. 3 years of entrepreneurship experience for entrepreneurship teachers is expected as a minimum. There is also a how to partner training program that aims to foster the engagement of academics with external stakeholders. Lastly, entrepreneurship skills are part of the recruitment process. In order to incentivize and reward, the university has a yearly Most Entrepreneurial Academic Award. In addition, there is a policy to distribute the profits made from third-party income. Lastly, lab space will be granted for any income that is generated from third-party funding. In terms of culture, the university has a defined DNA for entrepreneurship. There exists an exploitation day on which academics as well as students work on exploiting the value created in their work. Lastly, the university promotes entrepreneurship through collaboration spaces. Internal support structures include a technology transfer office, an accelerator, a coaching and mentoring program, as well as a corporate relationship office. The university collaborates with the city's health incubator, and it hosts a joint startup festival. In terms of education, at least 3 ECTS of entrepreneurship are included in every lecturing program. Design thinking and lean startup methods are used to promote entrepreneurship. Research strategies are aligned with societal needs. and entrepreneurship research is conducted. In terms of the third mission activities, the university focuses on consulting, it hires its facilities, and it conducts contract research. To continuously improve, the university measures the perception of the university as an entrepreneurial university. It measures the entrepreneurship ECTS of the total ECTS in the entrepreneurship curriculum. The university also has members of their staff as board members of the entrepreneurship society in the country. And it works in close relationship with the city, thus making a wider influence. Lastly, the impact is measured in terms of the innovativeness of companies, in terms of new jobs, as well as in terms of social development. Overall, this canvas showcases an example university and all the activities and approaches taken to promote the entrepreneurship agenda. The fourth tool of the ACEEU toolkit are the Entrepreneurial University Good Practices. Once a university representative has filled in the canvas and identified areas for improvement, the Good Practice database comes in. The database contains more than 100 good practices, which are structured according to the ACEEU standards. The system allows to search within the good practices and filter them according to different criteria. The idea of the Good Practice database is to give university representatives new ideas how to develop their entrepreneurial profile by looking at good practices from institutions around the world. The last tool of the ACEEU toolkit is the Entrepreneurial University Pathfinder. The Entrepreneurial University Pathfinder is a strategic planning tool to improve an institution's entrepreneurial profile. Here is an example. This example university wants to first work on the institutional commitment towards entrepreneurship as well as its leadership, before moving into continuous improvement and the financial planning standards. Following this, the university works on the culture, internal support structures, third mission activities, staff profile, and service alignment. The colors of the hives indicate which of the standards have already been completed, which are ongoing, and which are still planned. For each of these standards, different tasks or actions are defined and implemented in accordance with the planning. Overall, the tool thus gives a timeline for the improvement of the entrepreneurial profile of an institution. Having introduced the 15 standards and the 5 dimensions of the ACEEU evaluation framework, and having explored various tools developed by ACEEU, the question remains how you could use the tools in your daily practice. The tools have been found powerful to map the current situation of your own or any other institution. This means that you can also analyze competitor institutions or good practice cases. In addition, the tools have been found powerful to design new approaches to advance the performance of your institution. For example, you might use the good practice database to find interesting ideas that could be implemented at your institution. Lastly, you may evaluate the solutions developed. You can analyze any shortcomings of your current situation or the added value of the newly designed approaches. Your institution might develop different entrepreneurial university profiles using the canvas and decide later on which way to go. We have nearly reached the end of this presentation. This leaves me with inviting you to explore our toolkit website, available at toolkit.aceeu.org. The tools are available for free, and I would be more than happy to see that you're testing them in your institution. Please feel free to forward them to other people in your institution. For example, people working in the technology transfer office, the responsible vice president, or people in incubators or entrepreneurship centers. If you require any help in hosting a workshop using the toolkit, please do not hesitate to contact us, and we would be more than happy to provide such a workshop. Last but not least, I would like to thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to write me an email at chair@aceeu.org. Many thanks again.